people would have laughed at you if you'd told them a decade ago that they could live in Cher's iconic Malibu state. The internet has made it easier than ever to learn just about anything you want. So with all this content and information available, how did you know which one to learn from and which ones actually work? Luckily for you, TTP member, for today's video, we will be talking about Cher. She allegedly lists her iconic Malibu state for $85 million. Remember that while the first step is completing any of these amazing videos, the second and possibly more important step is taking action even if it's imperfect action. Anyone who has ever traveled along the Pacific Coast Highway through Malibu, California will undoubtedly have seen Cher's renowned estate, which she recently listed for $85 million, according to the Wall Street Journal. The well-known guest house gatehouse, built in the Italian Renaissance style, is visible from the road. The passerby can tell there's something noteworthy there. The 1.79-acre cliffside property was bought by the unnamed singer in 1989 for $2.95 million. The impressive estate's design, planning, and eventual completion in 1999 took additional time. The gatehouse is thought to have been Cher and the Coastal Commission's most infamous point of contention. The ocean. The elaborate mansion has 7 bedrooms, 13,200 square feet of living space, and an unspecified number of bathrooms. There is an ocean view from every room, Cher told to one of our mentors. Cher's private quarters, which also include a private meditation room and 2 closets, one of which is fortified and equipped to be used as a panic room, of course have a panoramic view of the Pacific. And with intricate wood screens, her main bathroom is decorated to look like a Turkish hammam or spa. And do you concur? Almost 100 different hair pieces are reportedly in a climate-controlled room according to reports. A tennis court, infinity pool, gym, driveway lined with 40 palm trees, and courtyard with a Moorish-style fountain are a few of the more luxurious exterior amenities. Invitations to the pop icon's A-list dinners and parties were highly sought after. Cher, 76, has won an Emmy, a Grammy, and an Oscar for her work as a singer, producer, and actress. She is one of the top-selling musicians in the world, thanks to her more than 100 million record sales. Since the 1960s, when she performed with her then-husband Sonny Bono, she has been recognized for her pop songs and fashion. The eternal artist is still in demand as a performer, benefactor, and style icon. The opulent retreat has previously been listed for sale. According to Realtor.com records, Cher listed the home in 2009 for $45 million. Additionally, her former Beverly Hills palace was put up for sale in 2019 for $48 million. The Malibu listing is represented by Robert Cass of Hilton Highland and his colleague Drew Fenton. Are you a romantic on one of Malibu's most well-known bluffs? Famously extravagant mansion of Oscar-winning singer and actress Cher is back on the market with a staggering $85 million price tag, as first reported by the Wall Street Journal. Cher is hoping at least one romantic billionaire will buy it. Records reveal that the goddess of pop paid just under $3 million for the bluff-top property in 1989. The 1.7-acre gated property was constructed and extensively customized to her personal preferences over the following 10 years by builder Wallace Tooth III and designer Ron Wilson. Walls of arched windows and doors provide panoramic coastal views that extend from Point Dume to Santa Monica and Catalina Island beyond. Hilton and Highland Robert Cass and Drew Fenton are in charge of the listing. The enormous house, which is arguably one of Malibu's most prominent and instantly recognizable residential landmarks, has been on Cher's list of properties to sell before. It was widely reported more than 10 years ago that she was trying to sell the house for $45 million, but it never did. Regarding the main house, Martin Lawrence Bullard, an interior designer based in Los Angeles, recently renovated its 7 bedrooms and 13,200 square feet of living space. An infinity edge pool, a tennis court, and a separate guest house are among the amenities. As seen in a September 2022 Architectural Digest article, the home has a front courtyard, bolstered by a Moorish-style fountain, and spacious rooms, all through are punctuated by limestone and marble imported from Italy and France, hand-wrought bronze doors, hardware and tile from Spain and Morocco, and even an 18th century Venetian marble balustrade bought from William Randolph Hearst collection at San Simon. A striking entrance with limestone block walls, bronze doors, and Indian carved panels stands out particularly. From there, the formal living room is topped with a tin ceiling decorated with Moroccan bronze lanterns, and the fireside living room is situated beneath a hand-painted gold leaf stenciled and tea-stained ceiling sporting a Moroccan chandelier. Additionally, there is a gourmet kitchen with custom white cabinetry and Anne Sachs backsplash and premium wolf appliances. The lavish master retreat is accessed through bronze-studded walnut doors and is outfitted with a sitting area, dual closets, a luxurious hammam-inspired bath, and Turkish wood screens. Additionally, there is an indoor-outdoor gym, a movie theater, and a climate-controlled wig room that is said to hold about 100 hair pieces. Homes in Hawaii, Florida, and numerous properties in Southern California are included in Cher's real estate holdings. The actress and her then-husband Sonny Bono purchased sizable homes in Beverly Hills and Holmby Hills in the 1970s. The latter property was sold to Eddie Murphy in 1988. Early in the 1990s, Cher invested in a stunning 6-bedroom, 8-bathroom Mediterranean-style villa in Florida. In the 1990s, the believed singer also called an apartment in London home when she resided in Oliver's Wharf, a former warehouse in the east end of the city. Cher reportedly spent $3 million on a West Hollywood home in 2006. There were also apartments in those Cher Towers, owned by other famous people like Sir Elton John, Joan Collins, and Sandra Bullock. Cher acquired an opulent pad within the Four Seasons Resort Wailea on Hawaii's Big Island a few years later. In the end, she sold it in 2010. A Malibu state design in the Italian Renaissance style is one of the most well-known homes Cher has owned. According to Realtor.com, the 14,000 square foot house has 6 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and stunning views off the beach. Every area of the house was decorated and designed with assistance from the If I Could Turn Back Time artists. According to her longtime friend and designer Ron Wilson, Cher and I worked together on the entire project. It's unbelievable that she was completely involved in the landscape design. She has great talent. The mansion has a theater and a gym among its amenities. The outdoor space includes a tennis court, several verandas, and an infinity pool, which Cher particularly liked. She admitted, "In the summer, I spend all of my time at the Infinity Edge pool." What the performer said regarding residing in Malibu. Cher also discussed how important the Malibu property is to her with one of our mentors. She never fails to be in awe when she wakes up and looks out of her bedroom window. There are 2 stunning ocean views available from every room. The sun sets every day and the water is always glistening. Her home is unique because it serves as both her haven and fortress. She really only has any privacy in that location. Cher made great efforts to protect that privacy. She had a 10-foot wall built around the house in 2003. That was 3 feet higher than what the zoning permitted though. The songbird fought to keep the wall after being ordered to tear it down, going all the way to the California Appeals Court in the process, but eventually settled and donated $125,000 to support public schools in exchange for keeping the wall. American singer and actress Cher got her start in the 1960s as one half of the duo Sonny and Cher. Since then, she's gained widespread recognition thanks to a number of top 10 hits and on-screen appearances. For her work in Moonstruck, she was awarded an Oscar. Prior to appearing together on the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour, Cher first gained notoriety as a member of a singing act with husband Sonny Bono in the 1960s. Their single, I Got You Babe, peaked at number 1. Cher also developed a successful solo career with songs like Gypsies, Tramps and Thieves, Half Breed, and Dark Lady, reaching the top of the charts. In the 1980s, she pursued acting, appearing in movies like Silkwood and Mask, and winning an Academy Award for her work in Moonstruck. Cher experienced additional musical success in the 1980s with rock-oriented songs, and in the late 1990s with the worldwide dance hit Believe. Closer to the Truth, the artist's first studio album in 12 years, was released in 2013, following her concert series at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. She made a well-known comeback to the big screen in Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again in 2018. On May 20, 1946, Sherilyn Sarkisian was born in El Centro, California. She was brought up by her model and actress mother, Georgia, and spent her formative years in the San Fernando Valley neighborhood of Los Angeles County with her younger half-sister, Georgianne. Cher was at one point placed in an orphanage while her mother searched for employment because the family was having financial difficulties. She nevertheless began acting as a part of her extracurricular activities because she was aware from a young age that the world of arts and entertainment spoke to her. Cher and Sonny. At age 16, Cher quit high school and moved to Hollywood. At a coffee shop, she allegedly met Salvatore Sonny Bono, a student of renowned producer Phil Spector. Cher actually provided background vocals on well-known Spector songs like Be My Baby by the Ronettes. Despite Sonny's initial lack of romantic interest in Cher, the two eventually fell in love and got married on October 27, 1964. I've Got You Baby. The couple spent time honing their act before becoming known as Sonny and Cher. The pair's I Got You Babe hit the top of the charts in 1965 for the Atco label. Sonny and Cher continued to release successful singles while maintaining a countercultural persona with distinct bohemian stylings, as evidenced by Baby Don't Go, the politically conscious The Beat Goes On, Little Man, and What Now My Love. Cher had a solo contract with Imperial as well. She had her first top 5 solo single with Bang Bang My Baby Shut Me Down, following the releases of songs by Bob Dylan like All I Really Want to Do and Where Do You Go. Variety shows and TV. Sonny and Cher, however, had stopped scoring hits by the end of the decade and were in serious financial trouble as a result of IRS debt, thus having already adopted an image that would be interpreted as having more adult sensibilities. They developed a cabaret act. A summer replacement telecast for CBS was hosted by the couple as a result of their comedy-filled show. The Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour, which was nominated for an Emmy and ran from 1971 to 1974, was then started as a result. Sonny and Cher's musical career was also revived by the show, and new top 10 hits like All I Ever Need Is You and A Cowboy's Work Is Never Done followed. However, tensions in the background were high, and Cher would later describe Sonny as a rigid, tyrannical figure when it comes to business. Following their divorce, Cher hosted her own Emmy-nominated self-titled TV program from 1975 to 1976. Songs Perform Alone. In the 1960s, Cher began to make a name for herself as a solo performer. She became well-known early on 4 songs that were provocative in their sensibilities and spoke to her experience of being an outsider. Over time, she would embrace the style. With You Better Sit Down Kids, which she sang from the perspective of a father, explaining the realities of a marital breakup to his children, she enjoyed a top 10 hit. She had her first #1 solo hit of her career with a title track from the 1971 album Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves, originally titled Cher, which discussed a travel-in show, family, and teen pregnancy. Cher sang The Way of Love, another top 10 hit, to a lover who had left her for a man. The title track from her 1974 album Half Breed, which depicted the ongoing persecution of a partially Native American narrator trapped between two worlds, helped her ascend to the top of the charts once more. Due to contractual obligations from their business relationships, Cher was unable to perform as soon as she and Sonny got divorced. Instead, Cher accepted jobs as a model. She later gave David Geffen credit for assisting her in gaining control over her career and financial situation. With the string-heavy disco song Take Me Home from the 1979 album of the same name on the Casablanca label, Cher was once more able to make it into the pop top 10 by the decade's end. Movies and the Oscars. Silkwood, and Mask. Cher pursued acting professionally in the 1980s. After having previously appeared in a few film projects, she made her Broadway debut in the 1982 production of Come Back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy Dean, and returned to play Sissy in the movie version. She continued to win the admiration of critics and viewers alike with a number of accomplished performances on the big screen, playing Meryl Streep's lesbian roommate Dolly Pellicer in the 1983 drama Silkwood. For the part, Cher was nominated for a Golden Globe and the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Then, in 1985, she played the defiant, emotionally troubled mother of a son with craniodiaphyseal dysplasia, a condition that dramatically changes the shape of his face, in Peter Bogdanovich's film Mask. Moonstruck, The Witches of Eastwick. Cher enjoyed a successful year in 1987, appearing in 3 movies including the suspense thriller Suspect, co-starring Dennis Quaid, the sly supernatural comedy The Witches of Eastwick, co-starring Susan Sarandon, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Jack Nicholson, and the nuanced romantic comedy Moonstruck, which also starred Olympia Dukakis and Vincent Gardenia. In a role as Loretta Castorini, played by Cher, a passionate brother of her fiancé Nicolas Cage pursues her, forcing her to reclaim her sensuality and defy convention. Cher received her first Best Actress Oscar for a widely praised performance in a now classic film, Turn Back Time outfit worn by Cher on MTV. Cher went back to the music industry despite her acting success. Her self-titled album, which included the emotional declaration of New Love and pop or top rock stand comeback single, I Found Someone, was released in the same year as Moonstruck. With the 1989 release Heart of Stone, which featured 2 more top 10 hits in If I Could Turn Back Time and Just Like Jesse James, there was more power rock. The singer appeared in a leather jacket and a sheer body stocking while serenading a group of jubilant sailors on a military carrier in the music video for If I Could Turn Back Time, which in particular caused a stir. Because of the outfit's reputation for controversy, MTV would only air the video at night. Cher has pushed boundaries over the years, with her music as well as with her extravagant, unusual costumes and barely their accessories. Over the years, she has frequently collaborated with designer Bob Mackie, who has produced a number of theatrical and blatantly humorous looks for the actress. Cher has occasionally tried to make a statement with her clothing. For example, she wore a famous black chain-link halter and matching feather headdress to the 1986 Academy Awards ceremony as a form of protest against not being nominated for a role in Mask. When it came to the 1989 Oscars, she once again wore a sleek mini dress with frills and teamed up with Mackie in a more understated manner. Added TV shows, films, and music hits. Mermaids. Cher stated to experience chronic fatigue syndrome symptoms by the end of the 1980s, as evidenced by the drama or comedy Mermaids in 1990, which starred Winona Ryder and Christina Ricci, the HBO film If These Walls Could Talk in 1996, and the historical comedy or drama Tea with Mussolini, which starred Judi Dench, Maggie Smith, and Lily Tomlin. She continued to work intermittently in the film industry. Later, she co-starred in the 2010 film Burlesque with pop star Christina Aguilera. Cher also voiced her criticism of the finished product, but the film did not do well commercially. Belief in being strong enough. While Cher demonstrated her rock skills in the 1980s and the early 1990s, she also achieved another top 40 hit with her mainstream pop cover of the Shoop Shoop song, It's in His Kiss, which was featured on the Mermaid soundtrack. With her single One by One, taken from the 1996 album It's a Man's World, the singer once more made her presence known in the clubs. The upbeat title track of the singer's 1998 album Believe, which went on to sell millions of copies, cemented the singer's position in the dance or electronica genre, with the empowerment anthem Strong Enough dominating the dance charts as well. Believe earned a Grammy for Best Dance Recording and served as an inspiration for an ongoing trend of music producers using vocoders. The song This Is a Song for the Lonely, Living Proof, Cher's subsequent studio album, was released in the US in 2002 after being made available in Europe the year before. The single This Is a Song for the Lonely, which was written to honor those impacted by the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks, was featured on the album and did well on the dance charts. A Different Kind of Love Song and Alive Again were among the album's additional songs. Cher bid farewell to live performance after the release of Living Proof with a 3-5 farewell tour that took place from 2002 to 2005. More club hits and Emmy wins. The Farewell Tour by Cher. One of Cher's live performances from Cher. The Farewell Tour was broadcast on NBC in 2003. 3 2003 Emmy Awards were given to the show for Outstanding Variety, Music or Comedy Special, Outstanding Camera Work, Video for a Miniseries, Movie or Special, and Outstanding Costumes for a Variety or Music Program. The show was nominated for 6 2003 Emmy Awards in total. In 2006, Cher sold a number of personal items, including memorabilia, jewelry, and stage costumes, along with furniture, paintings, and decorative items from her Malibu, California home. A portion of the $3.5 million raised by the auction was donated to the Cher Charitable Foundation. Cher announced she would stop performing live shows, but 2 years later, she went back on stage. On May 6, 2008, she opened Cher at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. By the end of the series in February 2011, she had performed 192 performances. In September 2013, Cher released her first album in 12 years. According to her, Closer to the Truth is my best effort ever, so I'm happy with that, she told Reuters. With the album singles Woman's World, Take It Like a Man, and I Walk Alone, she had even more success on the dance charts. In March 2014, Cher resumed touring in support of Closer, but she had to postpone shows because of a kidney infection. The musical icon made a triumphant return to the stage on February 8, 2007, when she debuted her classic Cher show at the Park Theater of the Monte Carlo Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. Some of her biggest hits were performed during her masterful show, which also featured Bob Mackey's costumes. After a tense performance of her hits Believe and If I Could Turn Back Time, the pop icon received the Billboard Icon Award in May 27. She talked about the longevity of her music career in her acceptance speech. So ever since I was 4 years old, I've wanted to do what I do. It's something I've been doing for 53 years. That's not a standing ovation thing. I turned 71 yesterday. Okay, I can hold the plank position for 5 minutes, just a thought. The Cher Show and Mamma Mia. The sequel to the well-liked Broadway Productions 2008 film adaptation, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, which reunited Cher with her former co-star Meryl Streep, saw Cher return to the big screen in 2018. The musician started the Here We Go Again tour in September and followed it up with the release of the tribute album Dancing Queen. The Cher Show, a jukebox musical, made its debut that year as well. It began in Chicago before moving to Broadway. The icon initially gave the production a mixed review, stating that it needs work, but by April 2019, she had become enthused enough to appear on The Tonight Show with the cast of the show. Individual life. Cher is well known for being frank about her opinions and life experiences. Meryl Streep remarked that Cher's lack of the typical showbiz veneer is refreshing. During her teenage years, Cher dated actor or director Warren Beatty. Later, Cher had a relationship with Geffen, actors Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer, singer Richie Sambora, and actor-pilot Robert Camilletti. Cher has been married twice and has 2 children. Her son Chaz Bono, who was born Chastity and underwent a gender transition to become a man in 2008, is the product of her first union with the late Bono, who passed away on January 5, 1998 in a skiing accident. She had a brief marriage to musician Greg Allman, to whom she had a son named Elijah Blue Allman in 1976. The singer-actress released her autobiography, the first time in 1998. It was composed of a number of brief essays. The 2013 Lifetime documentary Dear Mom, Love Cher, which explores their family history, also included Cher, her mother, and her sister. Cher and Sonny Bono, one of the 20th century's most famous couples, sang I Got You Babe to each other in 1965. Their relationship was unique. Cher was 16 when they met, nearly 12 years younger than Sonny. and their careers and families were intertwined. Cher honored their powerful history after Sonny's 1998 death, even though they divorced. Sonny and Cher began as friends. Cher was 16 and Sonny 27 and married when they met in 1963. He and his first wife were separated. Sonny liked Cher's friend, not her. They connected immediately. In 2018, Cher told Elle, "Everyone just disappeared when she saw Sonny. He was the oddest person I ever saw." Cher lived with Sonny even though they were not dating. At the time, her roommates kicked her out. He moved into a nearby apartment and offered to let her stay if she cleaned. Cher reluctantly returned home but never cleaned. Cher said Sonny did not like her when she moved in. However, their friendship became romantic. "It wasn't a fiery, sexy thing with us." Cher was abandoned by her father, said in 1975. Sonny said Cher really wanted to be protected in a 1977 interview. Cher's mother also thought father issues affected the relationship. It's strange, but Sonny was a spitting image of her father, Johnny Sarkisian. She told Latest Home Journal in 1975. "I think Cher's feelings were influenced by the father image, but telling her would not have helped. It's impossible to change a girl's love for a man." Their romance and career began simultaneously. Cher sang back up on Phil Spector's "You've Lost That Love and Feeling" and "Be My Baby" due to Sonny's work. Sonny believed Cher could sing alone. He performed her to calm her nerves. "I Got You Babe" made them stars in 1965 after a few detours, including time as Cesar and Cleo. Sonny wrote "The Beat Goes On," another hit, and he managed their career. "I knew what I wanted to do," Cher told Billboard in 2017. Cher and Sonny's personal relationship had continued as they sought and found stardom. They had a folk marriage ceremony in 1964. They would officially tie the knot in 1969. Cher was content to let Sonny lead their relationship as she did in their career. 2010, long after our breakup, I idolized Sonny, he was awesome. Cher and Sonny's music career stalled in the 1960s as public taste changed. After Chastity in 1969, starring Cher, tanked, Sonny's self-financing left them broke. In 1969, the couple had a child, Chastity Bono, who later became Chaz Bono. This relationship milestone made it even more important to start their career. Their marriage began to fall apart, but they stayed married for the sake of the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour. Cher and Sonny started a lounge act, during which their onstage banter evolved into Cher delivering perfectly deadpan put-downs to and about her husband. They became popular enough to land a TV show in 1971, The Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour. Their family relationship, including Chastity's appearances, was a hit. Cher and Sonny singing "I Got You Babe" at the end of each episode emphasized their closeness. Despite their career revival, their personal life was in trouble. Sonny was not faithful to Cher, who once remarked, "One woman or even five is not enough for him." Her relationship dynamics were also problematic. She stated, "I liked Sonny because he thought women should be taken care of. I went crazy." Cher told Sonny she was dating their guitarist in 1972. Yet the revelation did not end their marriage, as their careers were tied up with the idea of Sonny and Cher as a couple. It was hard to divorce. Instead, they stayed married, but found different new partners, with some joining the couple at their mansion. Sonny wrote, "We are married, but my public wife is still Cher in order to maintain all the things I want right now. It is necessary." This did not seem to faze Cher, who has said, "We had a weird relationship. I don't expect anybody to understand it." Sonny and Cher eventually divorced, and she discovered the majority of their money belonged to him. The marriage facade could not last. Sonny filed her separation in February 1974. Then Cher demanded a divorce, calling their marriage involuntary servitude. Cher discovered that Sonny's corporation, Cher Enterprises, was 95% owned by her husband and 5% by their lawyer during their breakup. Cher signed a contract that prevented her from working without Sonny trusting him. She wanted out. In order to leave her contract, Cher agreed to do more than $1 million of shows and appearances with Sonny. Cher and Sonny's divorce was finalized on June 26, 1975. A few days later, she married Greg Allman of the Allman Brothers Band, though the marriage almost immediately had its own problems. The Sunny and Cher show failed after Cher and Sunny's separate TV shows failed. After divorcing Sunny, Cher struggled to find her footing. She said in a 2017 interview, "He had made every decision for me. I knew how to sing and how to be a mother. I did not know anything else." But she remained a star and added an impressive career in acting to her resume. Sunny decided to become a restaurateur before turning to politics. Both regretted their breakup. "I loved Sunny and Cher's power," he told People magazine in 1991. "That took years and years to let go. Sunny treated me more like the golden goose than like his wife," Cher told Vanity Fair in 2010. She also said if he had agreed to just disband Cher Enterprises and start all over again, "I would have never ever left. Just split it down the middle, 50-50. Despite sharing a child, Cher and Sunny often snipe at each other in public after splitting up. Cher often replied, "When I left Sunny, Sunny felt Cher played the part of a victim." Yet they reunited for an emotional rendition of "I Got You Babe" on Late Night with David Letterman in 1987. And Cher once clarified, "Even if we don't say nice things about each other, it does not mean anything. I know Sunny too well." Cher gave Sunny's funeral eulogy. Cher was devastated when she learned Sunny had died in a skiing accident on January 5, 1998. She spent days drafting a eulogy she hoped would repair all the damage and misconceptions about Sunny. Her moving words at his January 9 funeral touched on their history and connection. She ended by saying, "When I was young, there was this section in Reader's Digest called 'The Most Unforgettable Character I Ever Met.' No matter how old I get, no matter how many people I meet, that person will always be my son for me." Since then, Cher has admitted that Sunny's death was a shock. "I never expected him not to be there." She also contacted a medium who assured her of Sunny's love. And she stated, "I would not be surprised if he's up there taking care of me. He did a good job of looking after me in the 60s, and I'm quite happy for him to do it again." And that's it for this video, TTP member. Remember to subscribe to our channel, and if you feel like we have delivered value, please share this video with one person. That's right, just one person, as a token of your appreciation for the hard work we put into making content that educates and helps you on your mission of building your own fortune. Remember, you can watch video after video, but it isn't until you actually take action that you will start to see results. See you soon.